Hi everyone, I am Rita Meutia from Universitas Negeri Medan and my friend Bambang Gullianto from Universitas Asahan would like to present the paper entitled Verbal Aggressiveness Against Public Figures Language and Analysis of Tweeps' Comment on Twitter for this international seminar. This slide contains 5 parts: introduction, review of literature, methodology, finding and discussion, and conclusion. Nowadays, people use social media to exchange their interpersonal ideas, information, views, facts, thoughts, feeling, or opinion. However, there are a lot of social media users are less responsible. They engage in hurtful behavior and produce verbally aggressive behavior. This might happen because they believe by masking their identities and by maintaining anonymous or pseudonymous profile while posting any content and implementing comments, they cannot be personally identified, easily traced, and directly accountable for their action within a group. So, they become de-individuated communicators. Among other social media channels, Twitter is widely used by the social media users to apply verbally aggressive comments. This happens because Twitter is open, inclusive, and asymmetric. So, in terms of verbal aggressiveness, there are 2 theories which can be used to explain this phenomena. There are de-individuation theory and social cognitive theory, which put environmental influence and internal disposition as the underlying rationales of verbal aggressiveness phenomena. There are a lot of previous studies done by other researchers in the area of verbal aggressiveness. Baikov et al. In 2018 and Chakrabarty in 2020 found that people posted comments in the forms of insulting, prosecuting, blaming, threatening, negative forecasting, obscenity, threats, and insult. And then Rones and Kramer in 2016 found offensive and vulgar words, sarcasm, insult, and slander in blog visitors' comment. On Facebook, Rachel and Oyedemi in 2015 found insult, threats, and outing as the other forms of verbal aggressiveness. And then Videolada et al. In 2021 identified verbal aggressiveness in the form of hate speech, insults, threats, and defamatory acts on Twitter. So, this study is aimed at identifying the categories of verbal aggressiveness posted by the Tweeps using anonymous or pseudonymous account when implementing comments, and analyzing the Tweeps' underlying rationales by associating the profiles of public figures, the content of the tweets, and the content of the Tweeps' comments. Now, let's move to review of literature. Verbal aggressiveness is a behavioral disposition that predisposes individuals to attack the self-concepts of others. There are some forms of verbal aggressiveness. Some of them are character attack, competence attack, physical appearance attack, insult, malediction, teasing, and profanity. The predictors of verbal aggressiveness are sex, education, and religion. There are some reason or motive why people become verbally aggressive communicators. The social cognitive theory said that anonymity and pseudonymity might cause people, when using social media, lose their self-control, self-awareness, and social responsibility when implementing comments because they believe that they cannot be identified by online community. And then social influence theory said that social media users become verbally aggressive because of the influence of others' beliefs, behaviors, thoughts, and action. On Twitter, there are some reasons why the Tweeps become verbally aggressive. Since Twitter's default is not limited to subscribed friends and followers, Its users can post the message or the tweets publicly, and their posts can be seen by the other visitors or tweets tracking the stream of Twitter. Thus, both the tweet maker and the tweet can initiate discussion, exchange comments, and follow others' communication. Consequently, the tweets may communicate assertively or aggressively. The second reason, since Twitter is not immune from verbal aggressiveness, the tweets in any layer of communication, either in micro layer by personal relationship, meso layer, as we know as follower relationship, and macro layer, as we know as hashtag relationship, can be the perpetrator of or victims of verbally aggressive behaviors. Now, methodology. This study used qualitative design. The data are taken from 120 Tweeps comments responding to the tweets of 4 politicians, 3 celebrities, and 2 practitioners between November 2020 and December 2020. The data are taken from researchers' Twitter timeline. When collecting the data, the researcher will use self-reflective technique, and when analyzing the data, the researcher will use the theory of Infante and Weekly to identify the forms of verbal aggressiveness, and then social cognitive theory by Bandura, de-individuation theory by Festinger, and social influence theory by Kalman will be used to know the rationales of verbal aggressiveness. Findings and discussion. After the data are analyzed, it is found that among all forms, insult was mostly used by the Tweeps to express their verbal aggressiveness, while malediction was the least used by the Tweeps, and then character attack was found in 10 comments, followed by physical appearance attack, which is found in 22 comments, teasing, which is found in 33 comments, and profanity was found in 13 comments. Next, verbal aggressiveness form expressed by the Tweeps in their comments were characterized by, first, the attack on public figures' self-concept to decrease self-confidence and make them feel powerless. Second, the absence of evidence and opinion following the comments. And third, the absence of guilt and embarrassment. These characteristics were relevant to the theory of Infante and Weekly. For example, let's see the Tweeps comment responding to public figures' tweet. The tweet said that you are there because of your father. You are a dreamer, not a leader. From this example, we can see that the Tweeps did not comment on discussed matters, but he just attacked the self-concept of the public figures by expressing competence attack and teasing. The other finding is the Tweeps with pseudonymous account or de-individuated Tweeps lost their self-awareness and self-identity, leading to antisocial behavior. For example, a pseudonymous account of Colonel Mosaid bin Laden, when responding to the tweet of public figures, he said that presidential candidate who want to vote for you, less experience and less competence. Next, the last finding is dissatisfaction with anti-conformity behavior provokes verbal aggressiveness. For example, the tweet of another politician stated that this is still about the case of a celebrity GA connected to a 19-second video. Although the file has been removed, it can be recalled. The following are the removed picture of celebrity staff MZ persecuting AG in IB Sleepy Hotel in 2008. Responding to the tweet of this politician, the Tweeps show verbal aggressiveness in form of teasing, insult, and character attack by saying that can the lost the pen be recalled, or please sing the national anthem of Indonesia or Indonesia Raya, and You are a pen thief. From this finding and discussion, we can conclude that on Twitter, the tweets express verbal aggressiveness in the form of character attacks, competence attack, physical appearance attacks, insults, malediction, teasing, and profanity. The tweets' verbally aggressive comments are marked by the attack on public figures' self-concept, not the content of the tweets or discussed matters. The second conclusion is the analysis has shown that the tweets' verbal aggressiveness is caused by environmental influence, pseudonymity, and dissatisfaction. I think that's all that I could say today. See you in another seminar.